Morning everyone, it's Audrey, Stitchy Witch 42. Got my cap on, I'm ready to roll. It is Sunday, the 12th of December 2021. This is my channel on cross-stitch life, the universe, and everything, and the second video that I have recorded today. I am recording upstairs in the Hobbit library because my husband is home. And even though I've been married to the man for almost 40 years, and I can go out with him in the middle of the night on our deck, sans clothing, and shoot paintballs at raccoons, I can't record a video if I think he can hear me. So I'm hiding up in the library. That's what I do. How you doing today? This hat's driving me nuts. Well, that didn't last long. There you go. Oh, I feel normal again. Or as normal as I get. Okay, it is Sunday. It is the 12th of December. And like I told you a while back, my videos are going to be random. Because of life. It is raining and cold outside. Yesterday, we had 30-mile-an-hour gusts come through. I got up, went to work in the morning. Got a call from Mark about 8:30 in the morning because one of those wind gusts hit the canopy that we've had for the last 2 years that my car has been parked under. It lifted it up and flipped it over on top of Mark's truck. Didn't do any damage to the truck. But the frame from the canopy was mangled, so we're ordering a new one, and we will be anchoring it better because I like having the canopy to get to my car in the morning without getting rained or snowed or ice covering my car or all of those things. So, it's cold, it's rainy, the light's not too good. Oh yeah, I have my ring light here. Can I turn light on? No, maybe I can't. There it goes. Oh my God. And then there was light. Hi there. Can you see me now? I'm crazy. I know it. You know it. We all know it. Anyway, let's talk about getting to go up and meet with Stitchy friends last week because it was so much fun. You know her, you love her. She's Anna, Stitch Roadies, Quilt Roadies, Woolly Mammoth 53. If you don't know her, where have you been? She is one of my friends and I am blessed to know this lady. She invited 5 of us to come and spend a stitching day with her in the Beehive at her house up in Happy Valley. One of those 5 couldn't make it. The one that couldn't make it was Jeanine, who is the owner of Acorns and Threads. And the reason she couldn't make it is because there have been so many people ordering Emily's Bliss, which is an exclusive pattern from Acorns and Threads, that she had to stay in the shop and pack up more kits. So I'm really, really sad that I missed seeing her that day, but I'm really, really happy that lots of people are supporting the shop. I have it kitted up at the shop waiting for me. Mark asked me a while back what I wanted for Christmas, and I said, well, you could pay for my kit. And he goes, well, how do I do that? And I said, well, there's a multitude of ways. You can call Acorns and Threads and give them your credit card number and have them send it to you. You could drive up to Acorns and Threads. He knows where the shop is. Pay for it and bring it home. Or you could call Acorns and Threads and give them your credit card number and leave it up there in my bag and I'll get it when I go up next time. But you know, pay for the kit. Make me happy. What an idea. Anyway, Jeanine was not at the Beehive with us. The other three ladies who were there besides Anna and myself was Becca, Sambrie Stitches, Heather, PunkyPurls, and Colleen, who is one half of Stitching with the Sisterlies. We laughed so much that day. So much. I made some cookies. They are called melted witch puddles. And packaged them up to take up an exchange with the ladies that were there. I took a project for us to work on while we were there. The others brought gifts and we did some exchanging. So from Becca, and everything is all mixed up right now, so if I show something and it's from the wrong person, oops. And I already know that I left one thing downstairs. Oops. I'll include a picture at the end of the video of that one thing that I left downstairs because I don't want to start the video all over again. Every single time I sit down to record, there's some sort of issue. Anyway, Becca brought us these lovely little ornaments, and I hope it's not being blown out by the ring light because I can't see it on the screen. This is a Rae Dunn ornament. Mine says holly with a little bit of holly on there. My first Rae Dunn ornament. It's only my second Rae Dunn piece. And I had to take it out of the bag as soon as I got it home and put it on the Christmas tree because it's glass. And I don't want to break it. Heather, who is PunkyPurls, okay, she does YouTube videos and she is on Instagram and she makes the most amazing bags. There are so many people that make project bags and things like that. She makes purses and she makes project bags and project notebooks, and she made these little bags for us and then she personalized them. And it is filled with all sorts of little goodies. A cute little pair of scissors. A seam ripper. These are the ones that come apart, and on the end of it, it has the little bit of rubber so you can use it for pulling up the floss that you've had to rip out of your pattern. There is a needle threader in here. She made these little handles for us that can go on bags or projects. So cute. So cute. And then a needle minder. Like I said, Anna's is the one that I left downstairs, and I'll post a picture at the end of it. From Cheryl, we got these project rolls. This is cool. Remember earlier this year when everybody got all excited about the magnetic silicone ties that we could use to hold extra fabric around our project? I'm using it on my Afghan to do that. She used one as the closure for this. She just sewed the other half inside here. What a fantastic idea. It unrolls. It has felt on this side here, so you can lay your project on it. She did decorative stitching around the edges here. And I like Cheryl. She used a wood dowel inside hers. So not only can you take your cross stitch everywhere or your wool project, but you can also defend yourself if somebody tries to take that project away, because you have a wood dowel. I'm sure that wasn't part of her thought process. That's simply me. And you know me. Okay, I made melted witch puddles. I'm going to put the recipe and directions in the drop box down below. I came across this recipe in 2011, and it basically uses 6 ingredients: milk and white chocolate, sandwich cookies, stick pretzels, coconut, and bugles. If you don't know what bugles are, they are a cone-shaped salty corn chip. So, easy to make. They just take time, and they're fiddly. You melt your milk chocolate. You can use melts that you get. I bought mine at Michael's in their baking area. They had a variety of different colored melts, but they're all basically a chocolate melt. So you melt the milk chocolate, and you take the bugle and you dip it in, the pointed end, into the milk chocolate, and then take it out, hold it with your other hand, get chocolate around the rest of that bugle chip, put a little bit of bugle on one of the sandwich cookies, and set it there, and you have a witch hat. That's simple. Then we start getting fiddly. You have to toast the coconut. You buy this 16-ounce bag of coconut, and you're going to use less than an eighth of it. Less than a 16th of it. You're not going to use a lot of coconut, but you have to toast the coconut. The notes I had in my recipe said 7 to 10 minutes at 350 degrees in the oven. I tried that. It didn't do anything. So I turned my oven on to broil. Watch your coconut, because it goes from toasted to burnt real fast. I'm not telling you how I know that. I just know that. So I toasted my coconut and I got it ready. Now you're at the construction part of making your melted witch puddles. You melt the white chocolate. The white melts. It can be white chocolate chips, it can be white almond bark, it can be the melts. They had green melts at Michael's, and I used Oreo cookies for part of the witch hat. And I'm thinking when they come out with the green filled one next year that I'm going to get some green melts and make green melted witch puddles. It's an idea. Anyway, you melt your white chocolate, and working on parchment, you put a little puddle down. You put the pretzel stick on there, you sprinkle some coconut because that's the broom bristles. You put the cookie with the cone on the top of it, and you just let them sit there and stiffen up. It took one package of the chocolate melts to do 36 witch hats. One package of the white melts only did 25 puddles. So I would recommend 2 packages of the white melts. Or green melts if you want to make green melted witches, because I want to make green melted witches. So then I asked Mark if he would make tags for me to put on. I went to the grocery store down the street, not my store, no. I went to the grocery store down the street and I bought 6 clamshells. And what the clamshells are, they're the plastic containers that you get cookies and cakes and things in. Bought 6 of those from them, had Mark make some tags for me, and then I brought the tags upstairs and I decorated them and stuck them on the 5 containers that I took up there that had 5 puddles in each one, because I only actually managed to make 25 out of the 36 as full puddles. But they're tasty. And there will be photos at the end. I showed some on Instagram, but I'll include them on the end of this video too, along with the gift that Anna gave me. I have to keep saying that so that I remember it, because I forget. Along with the melted witch puddles, I took a project along for all of us to create something. I knew there was going to be gift exchange going on, and I thought, how much more fun would it be if I let them create what they wanted? So, what I took up with me were some wood spools. And some corsage pins. and beads, and more beads. Sorry if that's obnoxious. And more beads, and Gorilla Glue. So, the whole idea, I have two different size corsage pins, and for this project I think that the 3-inch corsage pins actually worked better. But the whole idea was to take said corsage pin, put a spool on it, and then another bead. Now, if you look at it this way, you can see that the diameter of the spool is much bigger than the needle itself. So if you take another bead and glue it in place, you can make your very own, what are these silly things called? Counting pins. You can either leave the spool empty like this, or if you want to add your own floss to it, just put a little bit of white glue on here, wrap your floss around it, put another drop of white glue on the end of it, let it set and harden, and then cut off the excess. But you need to have a bead underneath the spool to hold it in place, because otherwise it's too wobbly. That was the plan. The reality is everybody got really sticky with the Gorilla Glue. Heather, who was sitting next to me and managed to glue her 2 fingers together, I warned her. She told me that if she could flip me off, she would. But her fingers were stuck together. Oh my! Cheryl, who got there late and didn't know that Anna and Becca and Heather had all made gluey, sticky messes of themselves creating these things, did it again. And we laughed. And we laughed, and we laughed, and we laughed. And it was a fantastic day. We went downstairs and had lunch. Anna had made this fantastic vegetable soup with some crusty bread. Becca had brought along some cheese and meat platter. Cheryl brought along this pineapple cake that was, oh my God, it was so good. And we're sitting around the table and we're still laughing and giggling like crazy. And right behind me is Anna's china cabinet. And it only took me a few minutes to realize that every time I started giggling, her cabinet started wobbling behind me. So I'd laugh and it'd shake. And I'd laugh and it'd shake. And it's like, when I was in grade school, one of my teachers took the whole class outside on a summer day, and she had us lie down on the ground. She had one person lying here, and the next person laid this way with their head on this person's stomach. And then the next person laid this way with their head on this person's stomach. So there was a line of all of us kids laying out on the grass, and each of us have our head on someone else's stomach, except for the very first person. And then my teacher told a joke, and we started laughing. And then we couldn't stop laughing because our heads were laying on the previous person's stomach, and their stomach was going up and down, making our head go up and down, which was making us laugh harder, which made our head bounce more, and that's what having the cabinet behind me at Anna's house was like. I started laughing so hard and I couldn't stop because it was rattling that I actually had to get out of my chair and go stand in her living room until I could stop laughing. It was a great day. I loved it. I love all of those ladies. I wish Jeanine could have been there to take part of this. It was a fantastic day. So, let me show you what cross stitch I've been working on. Push some stuff out of the way here. I have not been doing a lot of stitching here recently. I don't know why. It's just not been, it's not been speaking to me here recently. Paper crafting is, I have an idea for a journal that I want to make, and I'm collecting images, and when I get around to that I'll share it with you. What I left downstairs for me to work on was my Alphonse Mucha. This is what she is supposed to look like when she is finished. This is Morning Awakening, and I got this pattern from Cross Stitch Collectibles. And this is what I have been doing with her. This whole area that you see here is what I have been stitching on. And this is several days worth of work. But when I start stitching, I just don't feel like stitching, so I'm not getting a lot done at any one time. But I'm still really happy with the progress that I'm making on her, and I will continue to work on her, because she was the only project that I had downstairs. And I say was because I started something else. I started something else last night. So there is, in Silverton, an Irish pub. And Mark and I discovered this Irish pub several months ago. And because of COVID and everything, they've not been really busy, but they're still doing a good business. And it is cute, and it is quaint, and it is set up to look as much like an Irish pub as somebody here in the United States can make a pub look Irish. But they also have good food. They have really good fish and chips, and I love fish and chips. The bartender, his name is Marty. We spent a lot of time talking with him. He's just a really nice guy. And he actually has hanging in the pub a Save the Stitch. I know, a guy in a pub putting fiber arts on the wall. When I picked up my How Sweet It Is by Liz Matthews at the frame shop in town, Mark and I were going to the pub that night to have dinner, and I didn't want to leave that piece sitting in the back of the Jeep because it's open air and, you could walk off. It's a nice piece in a nice frame. So I took it in and I was showing it to Marty that I had made it, and then he showed me this piece that he had bought and had hanging on the wall. It's not an old piece, but it is kind of sort of Celtic, Irish, kind of sampler piece that he found a few years ago. It looks like it's a cross between cross stitch and needlepoint, but still, the fact that a bartender found a piece of fiber art and bought it, and it now hangs in a pub in town, how cool is that? And then he asked me, could you possibly stitch something for the pub? Heck yeah! I'm going to do that. So I asked him, what are you looking for? What kind of thing do you want? And I'll find something to go along with that. Well, they have a sign. When you walk into the pub, there's the front area, there's the back area. Above the opening between the two spaces is the sign that says, and I know I'm going to butcher this wrong, Kayad Mila Falcha. 100,000 welcomes. So I came home after talking to him, and I actually found this pattern at Hirschner's. and I purchased it for $3. It was an instant download. This was the project that I took with me to stitch on at Anna's house. And I had everything with me except the pattern, because it was a download, and I downloaded onto my laptop, and my laptop was at home. So she made me stitch on one of her wool projects. It was fun. It was fun. But last night, I got this started, and I have to show you the cute little floss bag that I'm using, because Anna gave this to me. She gave it to me before the other ladies got there, because she said she hadn't gotten one for everybody, so she didn't want to see them she didn't want them to see me get mine. Have you ever noticed how difficult it is to say things when you're recording a video? Every single time. She found this cute little bag with raccoons on it, because apparently my friends have taken it to heart that when the Wallsters go out at midnight, sans clothing, and shoot paintballs at raccoons, that I need to have more raccoons in my life. But this cute little bag is just big enough to hold the 4 colors that I'm using to stitch this piece. And I get a giggle. Like I said, I started this last night, and that is where I'm at. I got the needle minder, Live Long and Prosper, from Vikki StitchNButton. This is done with, this color is 909 DMC, and I think I'm using 911 right now to start working on the Celtic knots that are going to go surround this piece. But this is, I went on to YouTube to find out how to pronounce it, and I have it written down. Caed Milla Fulcha. Gaelic. Not my first language. Beautiful pattern. It's going to be a quick stitch. I think it's 7x7 when it's finished, so I can get an 8x8 frame, get it framed quite easily, and then take it down. And this will be in the little Irish pub here in Silverton. So that's it. That's all I had to share with you on this video. Like I said, I did record a second video today about a journal that I made for all the floss drops that I have received from other people for the great floss drop trade. That was started by Michelee MommaLovesYouGB. Having so much fun with that. And between working on that journal and the idea for this other journal that, seriously, I have been playing with ideas on how to create this other journal in my mind for years and didn't have any clue how to go about doing it. But I found a couple of people who make journals that I've been watching, and one is Release the Craftin' and the other one is Pink Oddbird. Between those two ladies, they have inspired me and planted a seed which is running rampant in my brain, and it's all I can think about, and I keep searching for images to use for this journal, and anyway, I'm still crafting, I'm still creating, it is still bringing joy to my life. The house is decorated. I have to go out and check the lights on the fence because some of them may have gotten torn off in the wind yesterday. But I think that's everything that I had to share. So again, I have no clue when my next video will be, which is why I'm not doing any giveaways right now. Plus, I don't want to go to the post office. Just don't want to do that. not at this time of the year. I hope everybody has the best holiday season. I know it is a really tough time of the year for some people, and I hope that you are with your friends and with your families and your loved ones, and I wish you all the best. Whatever holiday you celebrate, live long and stitch on, my friends.